Hi, hey, hello, welcome to a Market Down production. My name is Skibbo. You can call me Danny. You can call me Skibbo. You can call me Daniel. If you don't know me, you can call me Daniel or Skibbo. If you do know me, you can call me Danny, but I still prefer Daniel or Skibbo. That's fine. But we're here to talk about Monday Night Raw. And oh boy, what an exciting show. Not really. What an exciting main event specifically. And bro, we are gonna talk about it. Dev, what up? Welcome to the show. Sorry, none of my coward podcast mates have decided to join me. Jay, you can call me whatever you want. You've earned the right. You've earned the privilege. Welcome. Oh my God, Raw, right? I don't want to talk about much on Raw. I want to talk about a few things specifically. Chad Gable and Gunther. Gunther will now officially be the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time. That is awesome. We all kind of knew this would happen, but we're all excited about it. We're all here for it. The guy deserves it. This has been one of the most solid title reigns in very recent history for WWE, and I'm a big fan of it. And he's had some of the best matches. I think a lot of WWE's Match of the Year candidates will involve Gunther, and a couple of them will involve Gable because they're with Gunther. These two tore it up. I bought in. I believed. I wanted Chad Gable to win this title so badly. I know the record must be broken. I am all for breaking records because shit, man, Honky Tonk holding that record, that doesn't. Why? You don't need to have that record. I still wish Kane's single Royal Rumble elimination record was never broken, and now it's casually he's like fifth place now or some shit. But you know, certain records absolutely beat him. New Day being the longest tag champs, or probably Usos now, but that's unfortunate. But beat records from the distant past for sure. So Gunther, that's off. It's been a hell of a reign indeed. Need to smoke Gunther. Oh man. Uh, yeah, Breaker could be the guy, man. Breaker. That's the thing with Breaker. He can float up, and they could place him anywhere at this point, and I think it would actually work. If you wanted to take that title, he could. If you wanted to take the U.S. title, he could. If you wanted to take Seth's title, he probably could. He probably could. So Gunther really just has brought it all year. Last year with the Clash of the Castle match with Sheamus, but this year too is the match at WrestleMania, even the match with Ali at the filler Saudi show. The matches with Gable, the match with Riddle, the singles match with Drew, just such good matches. This guy has given Seth the run for his money and for being WWE's Wrestler of the Year. I think he's had an unbelievable year, and I think a lot of people can buy him as a very, very near future world champion, even a Royal Rumble winner. Because let's be real, now that he's officially broken the record, I don't think he's going to hold on to the Intercontinental title too much longer. And I still hope that it's Gable that takes it off. I am tired as fuck, Jay. I didn't want to do this, but like the match was so fun. I had to pop in and say some words. I didn't get enough sleep last night because of fucking payback, all out, whichever one was last night. And I'm fucking tired. I had to work on Labor Day. What kind of nonsense is that? This is absurd. What a terrible, terrible world. He's back. Eric Bischoff. I don't know who you're talking about. Welcome, stranger. BX 1743. But man, Gunther beat the shit out of Gable throughout this match. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. When I get excited about a wrestling thing, I want to have this like poetic and well-spoken monologue, or borderline soliloquy about it. But then I just get so excited and I start answering comments. Then it gets hard to stay on track. But Gunther uses power early. He's wearing down Gable, but Gable targets the leg. He takes out the leg. He gets a nice dragon screw while they're caught in the ropes, which is very fun. And he did it twice. Then he chop block. Gunther had the weirdest but like good big man style of a chop block I've ever seen, where like he just staggered. I've never seen anyone not go down to a knee from a chop block. Gunther did not. He just staggered. Excuse me. So Gable starts working the leg, getting some hope spots in, but Gunther just starts chopping him down and chopping him down. Classic Gunther stuff. And Gable turns it on in this match. He pulls down the straps on his singlet, exposing his chest, and just goads Gunther. And this match in another gear. The crowd were electric for this. A crowd that was up and down all night, I would say. They were hot for some things and dead for others. They were into this match. Gable's family was in the front row. So Gable goes for an ankle lock pretty early on for a good near fall, but it's too early in the match for that to happen. Gunther hits a power bomb very early in this match because they go to the outside. Gable hits a suplex on the outside. The referee is up to 6, and Gable looks like, well, I can't win like that again. I need to win the title. So he rolls Gunther back in the ring and gets back in at 9, and then Gunther power bombs him. But Gable kicks out. This is the only time I'll complain about commentary because I thought they were spot on during this match, but they did not give that kick out enough credit because powerbomb is Gunther's primary finisher on the main roster. And, they were kind of just like acting like it was any old move he was going for a pin on there. And it's like that was like would have ended a lesser title match. That's the only hiccup that commentary had in a pretty much flawless match for them. When Gable gets back on the offense, he hits a Chaos Theory. Gunther kicks out. Probably not the first person to kick out of the Chaos Theory, but the first one I can remember in a long time. And this crowd is unglued at this point. Gable's family's in the front row. One of his daughters is super into it. One of his kids is too young to know what's going on. The other one is still also too young to know what's going on, but also old enough to just be zoning out, and that's what that kid was doing. But Gable has a great counter. They added so many good sequences to this. I'm not even doing a credit. Like the beginning of this match had some great chain wrestling. The end of this match had some great counter wrestling. Gable had a beautiful counter into an ankle lock. Gunther goes to roll through. Gable rolls with him and does not let go of the ankle lock. And this is like when the crowd really was like the most they bought into Gable winning. Because I think everyone played their part. Everyone knew like he's probably not going to win. But what if he does? And that's when wrestling's at its best. When you have that little bit, and we had it with Orange Cassidy last night. We all knew his title reign was coming to an end. We're like, what if it doesn't? We always have that. There are those guys that are able to give you that little bit of hope. Sami Zayn against Roman at Elimination Chamber. But what if he does win? And that's what this crowd felt for those seconds that Gunther was in the ankle lock here. And it was just beautiful, man. I really, really loved it. So when Gunther gets out of it, he immediately puts Gable in a very naked choke or a sleeper or whatever. It's like the same thing, man. Submissions are silly. But Gable's fading, but he rolls through to, do that pin predicament that everyone beat Shayna Baszler with. But Gunther kicks out. Bro, just watch this main event. It is so worth it. It's fucking fantastic. This, Gunther has Gable locked in a sleeper. Gable's fading. He rolls through for the pin. Gunther lets go, but immediately goes to put it back on while they're standing. But instead of just keeping the sleeper, he basically hits him with a fucking a snapdragon suplex, but without the full setup. So it just looks like he's doing it from the sleeper position, which looks like murder. It looks like the most PG WWE murder I've ever seen, where it's like that looked like it could have broken the man's neck. I know he loves Kurt Angle, but bro, you don't gotta do that. I might clip that. And then he hits a power bomb immediately, and then just for the little extra spice, he picks him up and hits a big King Kong lariat and gets the pin. And just like that, Gunther is the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time. I think easily the greatest. You can argue for other people. You could argue for Jericho, Miz, Cody for like quantity, Cody for bringing back the in my opinion, the best Intercontinental title design they've had in 15 years. Uh, that's pretty much it. Like Miz, you only give it to the volume. He didn't really do anything great besides like the Ziggler feud. Uh, it's funny they showed so many great Intercontinental champions, and one of them was like Roman Reigns. And it's like, bro, he was one of the worst Intercontinental champions ever because that was his like his second like demotion championship. Sorry, James, I'm saying this as I post your thing. Your favorite cast member, man, you're my favorite cast member from Made. No matter the season, they never had anyone like you. But uh, God, I'm sorry, I'm just gushing over this. This was fantastic, Gunther. That's the beauty of this is that there was no wrong option. Gunther winning is a little heartbreaking because we wanted Gable to win, but it's awesome because he deserves to be the record holder and he's had a fantastic reign. And now it can just end at a moment's notice. So now you think it's the excitement's gone, but no, because every match from here on out, you have that excitement. You have that. This could be the time. This could be the person. And there's people that can be. I still want it to be Gable. There's a lot of people that want it to be Sheamus. There's some dorks that want it to be Dragunov, and like, I feel like I explained this really well in talking about Mox and Cassidy last night. But I Dragunov's not the guy. You're dependent on a lot of people watching the least watched thing that WWE's put out. Like it's not as good of an option as I think a lot of us marks think. So I would still like it to be Gable. It could be Sheamus, but if we're doing it soon, it's got to be Gable. This man deserves his singles title. I just want it so badly. This match was great. We had 3 nights of wrestling. I'm exhausted from it, but like this match, Cassidy, Mox, Becky, Trish in the cage made each night worth it. And don't get me wrong, strap match Ricky Starks and Bryan Danielson was also an unbelievable match. But just watching, having those matches that got me invested 3 nights in a row was very, very nice. Other stuff happened on Raw. Jey Uso's there. I'm not a fan of that. Not a fan. I am sick of any bloodline related people that are not Samuel Zayn. So I liked him and I liked Uso and Zayn hugging it out and having that moment. That was nice. It's months overdue, but it was nice. It would be nice if the bloodline didn't jump the shark again, but it was nice. I'm not excited to see him on Raw because I've heard a lot of people say they want him to beat Seth so that he's holding the title when Roman finally loses his. And it's like, people, you need to let it go. Okay, fuck that. I'm not a fan of that either. No offense, Jay. You are the more responsible of your siblings. But I'm not into it. Not the way other people are. And that's on me. Like, dude was over. He'd started, I don't know what the name of it is, but like he started doing the up and down arm thing, and the whole crowd was doing it. So that was a nice visual. So he already has a thing. So he'll be over. And I'll feel like that thing. I don't like the new terrible, corny change to the lyrics. I don't like that. Just keep the song or get a whole new one. Don't do this half-ass shit. But whatever. It's another great. But at least some interesting things, like people not being happy about it, him being there, like Drew and a few others, and how that's going to affect them interacting with Cody, who, maybe gets traded to SmackDown because now someone will be traded to SmackDown as compensation for Jay being there. And I swear to God, if it's Cody, might be not be as many Raw fast forwards going forward, which is harsh because like Cody is like not the reason I watch Raw, but he's been one of the better parts of it for the past year. So I don't want that to happen. Hopefully they send Miz. Hopefully they send Miz. That's what I think Jay is worth. Um, that's actually harsh on Jay. No, but still send Miz to SmackDown. Have have a Miz TV Grayson Waller effect that's never ending, and I just don't have to watch it because it's on SmackDown. Let's see what else happened on Raw. Speaking of Miz, he had a terrible segment that was like almost funny, but because it's WWE, it just went on for too long and it became incredibly cringy, very, very quick. Because he had John Cena as a guest to, apologize for costing him his match against LA Knight. But Cena, because you can't see him, he wasn't there. But they did the entrance and the cameraman followed along as if Cena was there, which was a really great touch that made it funny. But then the segment went on for like 10 fucking more minutes. And it's like, that's too much. That's too long. You killed the joke. Oh, it was an almost. No, yeah, it was almost. On paper, it works. On paper, it was good, but it went on for way too long. The joke was funny for the entrance, and then for a few seconds after, and then it went on too long. And the ending also would have been funny where he pretends to fight Cena. But the part in between was so bad and so boring and so cringy that it offset that. But it was almost, like I said, on paper, it was good. If it was 10 minutes shorter or however many, if it was 40% as long as it wound up being, it would have been. But it also was pointless because who cares? Because what's going to come of this? If we get a Cena Miz match in 2023, I'll throw a prized possession off the Brooklyn Bridge. Like, I don't want to see that. No one wants to see that. You're lying if you say you want to see that. And if we get another Miz LA Knight match, why are we trying to? How fast are we trying to tank LA Knight's popularity? You give him the pseudo rub. I see all these pictures of people showing The Rock holding up Cena's hand and now Cena holding up Knight's hand. But you know who else Cena endorsed in the past? Zack Ryder. So we still don't truly know what situation we're in. Is this a Bryan Becky or is this a Ryder Rusev? We still don't know yet. Jury's still out. I'm leaning more towards Becky Bryan right now, but we'll see in a few months. We'll see. Let's see what else happened. Just spitballing here from memory. So much of it's gone already. It was very inconsequential. Oh, Judgment Day holds all the gold, and that was fun. They're toying around with having JD join JD, as it were. Yeah, Stu really pulled through on that one. That was a nice touch. Like I said, he was amazing. Stu was the MVP of that segment. And Miz was the captain that sank the ship, So yeah, we had some Judgment Day stuff. It was fun. Raquel and Rhea are gonna have a rematch next week. Miz and Nakamura are gonna have a rematch at some point, even though Rollins won clean. I might have said someone else instead of Rollins' name the first time, but nothing crazy here. There was an interesting point in the show where Ciampa went to talk to Pierce to finish their conversation from earlier. So that'll be interesting to see what that turns into. But yeah, other than that, not much. Raquel squashed Chelsea to get some of her heat back before they announced the rematch for next week. That's more or less it. Sami Zayn lost to JD McDonough. You're pinning Sami Zayn way too much, I would say. I think that's he's been pinned like 5 fucking times since he lost to Roman. That's way too many for a guy that people believed to be the right person to dethrone Roman. It is what it is. But that's more or less all there really is to say about this Raw. Watch that amazing main event. You get to enjoy Judgment Day being on the same page and being on top. That's nice. And there was an interesting tease with Dom and Jay, so of all people, trying to lure him into the Judgment Day. So plates are spinning. There's stuff that's intriguing to look forward to. But this Raw was like fucking nothing with an amazing main event, which is like, we'll take those. We'll take those because I already don't remember what happened. Because I hypocritically forget things right after I watch them, but then complain when I get shown replays, because that's when I remember them when I'm not talking about them, but when I have to actually talk about it, it's like, what's the point? I also don't want to be here for longer than 20 minutes, and looks like we're about a minute over, and I'm so sorry I've wasted your time. But yeah, that, like I said, that's an interesting plate spinning. There's stuff there, and it's like, I'll give Jay a chance. I'm not thrilled about him being on Raw, but if they're gonna put this much effort into it, I'll give it a chance. But if he dethrones Seth, I'm out. If he beats anyone that I don't want him to beat, I'm like half in. I have 1 foot out the door here. But thank you so much for watching. It's been a hoot and a holler. We'll see you on Wednesday for our Dynamite review. That will be maybe like 5 or 10 minutes longer than this one. Not too much longer, I assume. Right, Rev? We got it under control. But anyway, hey, like the video, subscribe, check us out on social medias, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook. We're blowing up on those kind of sort of. Come be a part of it. Thank you so much for watching. I've been Skibbo. Have a good night. Don't drink and drive, and most importantly, be nice to animals. Rest in peace, Steve Irwin, 17 years later. Bye.